I'll splatter instead.
I can always do it.
Lots of people taking data down and telling you what to work on.
Right, yeah, and it's just one of those things that I need them to tell Tracy that everything's fine, because otherwise she worries about every little thing.
Yeah.
Hey, all my little halflings and goblins. This is DM Chris, your friendly DM from Going Gaming Store and the Grub and Grog. I just wanted to let you in on an exciting venture that we've started with Talon and Claw. Talon and Claw has been on my radar for some time. I've been wanting to get one of their beautiful wooden DM screens. So my birthday's coming on June 1st. If any of my players want to get one, I kid. But anyways, we have a deal going on with Talon and Claw, and that deal is that if you use code GOINGAMING in all capital letters on their Etsy store, you will receive 10% off of your purchase. In addition to that, Talon and Claw will kick back 10% back to Go and Gaming Store. It's a win-win-win. We help get more customers for Talon and Claw. Talon and Claw helps Go and Gaming survive the pandemic. And you, that's you, get a 10% discount on your purchase. Like I said, they've been on my radar for a while. However, recently I entered a contest on Twitter, and I happened to win one of their leather dice trays, which is this right here. As you can see, it is very portable. The whole thing unrolls. It's stamped with the Talon and Claw logo, and you just snap it together and you get a perfect rolling surface. And let me tell you, the leather works great. Not all rolling surfaces are created equal. I have found that some of the cheaper ones that are made of the PU leather, the dice just skids across it. They slide on one surface. And so this is the surface once it's complete. Also, I have recently purchased from them a Council of 7 dice vault in red oak. These come in different types of wood. You get to choose when you purchase it. They have a magnetic clasp closing it, and it is a vault for holding your dice. They have larger vaults. They also make a full line of wooden dice trays that serve as a vault. They have, of course, many different models of their DM screen in multiple different woods. So definitely go ahead and check them out. You can click their link on my YouTube channel or scroll down in your Twitch channel and you will see a tile there to click on their store. Please check them out, and I hope you have a good day, and I hope to see you at the gaming table soon. Thanks, guys.
I'll splatter inside. I can always do it.
Found the Chrome extension
Hello.
for Roll20 interfacing with D&D Beyond. Actually, yeah, it's called Beyond 20.
Okay.
And so you add the extension, enable the extension, and then when you have both D&D Beyond open and Roll20 open, they cross-talk.
Okay.
So you'll click on your attack in Roll20 in D&D Beyond, and it'll ask you if you want to use the advantage or not, and then send it to.
So I've got that, and I'm definitely using that. But how to get it so that it automatically plays the loot door?
Oh, that's in the macro window of Roll20.
Okay. Because I want my cloak to billow as often as possible.
So in the right-hand pane of Roll20, far right is the gears for settings, and next to that is collection, which contains macros.
Okay.
So you create a new macro, and then name it whatever you'd like, and then paste something. Well, I need to put that in quotes because it will code it. You've done enough coding, you know what the markup, but it's just knowing what their protocols are. So the /me does it as your character name.
What's programming?
Yeah. I'm teaching you about macros. Come on, Terry.
I just need to know where.
I know that's embarrassing, Carrie.
And Carrie should be teaching us how to embed GIFs into Roll20.
Yes.
All right. Look, I've got lightning bolt and I know how to use it. All right.
Yes. Your macros could read like, Zarm stood over the twitching corpse after his lightning bolt, stared at the body's convulsion. Then he shed a single tear and walked away.
I had a player last night that decided to swap out from playing his Tabaxi Sorcerer to playing a Tabaxi Monk because he was tired of only being the explosive fireball guy in the group, and he wanted some more roleplay options, and so we were joking about how, stop staring at my spell book, my eyes are up here.
You only love me for my spell book.
We're still waiting for onomatopoeia.
Then in the macro bar carry, you have a checkbox for in bar, and that will put it down by the video boxes. And then when you click
So
on put it chat,
I'm on the gear, but I don't see the macros. Where's the macro thing?
go to the right of the gear. It's called collection.
Right of the gear. I don't have.
Or sorry, dyslexic. Left of the gear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my left. Got it. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
There she
Macro.
is.
Macros also used if we weren't using D&D Beyond to do custom attacks, or if you're at a detriment or a boost, you could program a macro for when you have bless on. That sort of thing. It can code all the rolling protocols if you wanted to get into that. And then at the bottom of the macro section, pick Show Macro Quick Bar, and it'll put your button names down for quick activation. Yep.
Yeah, let's see. So how do you this out?
Jeff's giving Carrie the programmer a lesson in how to program macros into.
Oh, but now that I know how to do it, you can
Yeah.
Look out.
Carrie's going to take over our screens, move our characters, all
Right. Yes, with one button on his keyboard.
Yeah. He'll program the Chris AI, and he'll just run the game with if-then calls.
It'll be a lot like one of those bits where an AI comes up with a sci-fi story. This adventure makes no sense. What do we get for
plot
loot?
Is 85 sentences pulled from Shakespeare at random. That's
Yes.
the plot.
Yes. Why is there a chicken rib cage in the loot that is a magical hat?
Yeah, those AIs writing jokes, the AIs making memes, just the strangeness of them is amusing.
Well, that short movie that they did was hilarious. It's like it'll make sense for about 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden just take a hard right turn, and you're like, wait, what just happened? Is this the same movie? What's going on here?
So before we get started, can we do introductions with Ari?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
you
since
can.
we can.
Since
Well,
we
we
kind of
did
just
not do
dumped
that
her into
last
the
week.
game in the middle of combat last game.
Well, now we're hanging out, chilling around the campfire.
Yep. Hold on, I'll be right back.
So, one of the things, so I posted in the Facebook group. Um, First of all, let me apologize for us not being able to meet in the store. It was beyond our powers. We are at the whims of the governor, and so there's no guarantee, obviously, that we'll be able to play in the store next week. So, and this is for Onomatopoeia, who already said she'd be willing to. Malum and Ari, would you guys be willing to play over here at my place in person, or do you want to continue to play online?
Yeah, I think from here. How far away are you from going? I know
I'm
you're across the river.
Yeah, I'm over in Vancouver. I'm maybe 30 minutes, if that.
So from here, it'd be like probably about 35, 40 at most.
Maybe.
We can do
Yeah. I
that.
mean, with traffic, it's like it's almost dead on 30 minutes.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. I mean, if anything changes over the week, we'll let you know.
Okay. So what we will put in place, and of course this is all tentative, because it seemed, well, what was supposed to be changing almost hourly, day by day, turned into no word for weeks, and then suddenly at 7 o'clock on Thursday night, it was all canceled. What that's the part that really pisses me off the most, because you can't tell me that she didn't know that she was going to pump the brakes and, oh, it's a yellow light. She knew that going in Wednesday. She could have told everybody, but she didn't. She waited until the ruling on the Supreme Court and then released her press release. Oh my God! I'm going down a rabbit hole. Sorry. So, what we will do is, if we are not playing in the shop, we will tentatively plan to play here. It'll be a 3-hour game, um, and we'll move forward from there. And if anything changes throughout the week, we'll figure it out as we go. And for Sun Moon and Zarm, and of course Dubisa, who isn't going to be able to join us today, she had something come up. They will go ahead and either we'll use either Skype, which I'm really leaning towards, or Facebook Messenger, which is also adequate, and they can join via the Tab S6 that I got for work. And I know that it'll handle it. I mean, this thing's it's beefy. So, that'll be our tentative plan for next week. I'm really hoping that this is I'm really hoping that they're going to let Multnomah County go into phase 1 soon, because I just don't know that the store is going to survive if they don't. But we'll worry about that as it comes. So, where we left off last week, you guys had just walked in and murdered Marlos Unreal as he was conducting services. You gonna burn his church to the ground? What's going on here? But let's go ahead and have Ari give us a proper introduction of her character. And because I know that I don't know how much you're going to tell them about some of the stuff you told me, but you have some neat quirks.
I do. I'm interested. To myself, at least. I am a moon elf, wizard rogue type person. I carry around a rabbit skull tethered to my belt. When I'm casting specialty spells, I try to use that as my arcane focus. I tend to stare at people, like a little too much staring at people. And at times I will attempt to speak in other people's voices.
Nice.
However, I am prim and proper, so minotaurs coming and trying to touch me is very rude, so they get booped on the snoot. I'll try to like sit properly in a chair, pinky out at that whole thing. But sometimes I'll just kind of wander off. No reason why.
So,
So that is who Aerie is.
some of the background stuff that she told me, excuse me, that she told me that the players won't know. It's so quirky that usually I have to seriously mess a player up, but with a failure of wisdom saves and roll on the insanity tables in order for them to get like that. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. This player just created the character like that right out of the chute. I love that.
Yeah, it happened.
So,
Welcome.
Who
We're
are
all
you
entirely
people?
normal here.
Oh,
Especially
okay,
me.
well then I'll totally not stand out.
Do you want me to give my introduction?
I don't know who any of you are, so
I will step forward. I am Malum, human fighter, rogue, kind of underhanded, Robin Hood type person. I'll rob a little, help a little people, and a little mixture of everything. I'm also, yeah, rogue, so part of a thieves organization that's gone well. You can see my giant wyvern, Wivy.
this is my skeleton. I just made it.
his super original name. I'm just gonna name the wyvern Wivy.
Yeah.
That's like getting a cat and going, what's your name, cat?
Yeah.
I call my cat Catface.
Yep. Yes.
I tell my dog to shut her bitch face.
Right? Yeah.
Reminds me of Rick and Morty once again. You keep calling me gearhead. That's like calling an Asian person Asian face.
Well, I'm Sun Moon. I'm the halfling monk who likes to ride a bullet, whose name's Speak. I recently acquired him after learning how Wivy got trained. So I took a note from Malum and found my own mount, which is a
Okay.
large,
Very
ferocious
fun.
armadillo digging creature.
It's like a miniature Tarrasque. it's a pygmy Tarrasque.
My job is punching stuff. Well, I stick things with a spear mostly, but I punch a lot of things too.
Hi, Ari. My name's Carrie. I am Zarm Zurai. I'm a tiefling sorcerer. I like to cast big spells and kind of dash around everywhere through teleportation.
And don't forget, you have a Tesla complex.
Yes, I do like lightning.
So we just start calling you Nicola's Arm?
Damn, that's a really good name for a character. I'm stealing that.
I reach out with my hand to shake your hand. This will be fun.
Which spell goes off first?
Is it a mage hand or a real hand?
It may be shocking, but
Her hand might be necrotic.
Just a little bit.
But I guess
got
that
a single US finger.
leaves me. My character's onomatopoeia. They're a Kenku cleric and a trickery cleric. And upbringing was like a street urchin. And chaotic neutral. I've had a really cool character art because the Kenku lost their ability to fly, got cursed so that they could only repeat things. And I was homeless, and now I found wingwear so I can glide somewhat. That's like a really big deal to King. And then last time I found that cube that I can turn into like a room, so like to stay now. So that's
Well, it can turn into a
Pretty
whole
good.
fortress.
Yeah, exactly. It's incredible. It's like I started out like this homeless kid. Now I can fly and I have like an amazing place to stay. So it's been going really well for me personally.
A
I hang
portable
out.
airy for the bird.
I'm a little cowardly, so I hang out in the back, and if outnumbered, I will flee. But other than that, I'm an asset to the group.
Someone's got to carry the bodies and get resurrections.
Right.
I mean, I'll resurrect you, but not necessarily as
We reincarnated some prisoner we rescued after they died, and we reincarnated them as different species.
Let's see here. So, if I remember correctly, did you guys take a long rest at the end of combat last week, or
I
not?
believe so. After
Yeah,
the
I'm pretty sure.
yes.
Because I mean, that was a pretty big battle. Yeah, I think you did because during the long rest, one of the first things you did is you cast Greater Restoration on Speak as a ritual, so that
Yeah,
you
I
could
won't be stoned.
free him from being frozen in carbonite.
Yes, he was
We also need
petrified.
to get rid of
Sorry
our
about that.
additional 40 hit points.
Yes, and you now are your blessing for the additional 40 hit point added to your maximum is gone. It has served you well.
It has ceased to be.
Back to the room. Oh.
For measurement purposes, count each one of these. We're going to mostly count each one of these squares as 5 feet. It just using the because this map doesn't snap exactly the way I wanted to the grid. It seems like the ruler is making it way further than it needs to be. I mean, this would be holy crap. That's like 25 feet, and it doesn't. It should only be like 10. So these rooms aren't as quite as gigantic, unless you guys like the gigantic rooms. I mean, whatever's easier for you guys, I guess. So out of this room, you have a passage going to the east. And don't forget these areas, one that Speak is evidently sitting in, sounds like something my cat would do, are little flaming lakes or little lake. I guess they're puddles, but they are on fire. Kind of like the
I
one
don't know
time that,
about you guys.
like that
I
one
was
time
gonna
the guy
say,
hit the um, gas line in the Puget Sound and lit the bay on fire. That was awesome.
I prefer the bigger rooms just for the mounts easier to move around.
That's true. That is true because I mean, so like this passage here is, I mean, effectively it's 10 feet wide if we're just going to eyeball it. Yeah. So okay, we can do that. That's fine. It does make it easier if you're trying to calculate distance from you. You can just draw a line and it'll show you. So sure, we can do that.
So shall we power on to the east?
Okay, dope.
Am I
Exit stage right.
here anywhere? Where's my? Oh, there I am.
I will ride the wyvern.
This is a fun room. In the middle of the chamber is a statue depicting an amorphous body and thick tentacles, hunching over as if to feed. A purple crystal the size of a human head represents one alien eye.
Yeah, we killed the ooze in that room.
Oh, that's right. That is right.
Yeah.
Sorry. My bad.
So
yeah,
we're either
you've
going
already...
further east to 9 or
So
south to unknown.
Right. So in 9 is the fungus room where the Grell lived, and you killed him. Sorry, my bad. I'm getting caught up on this map here. I was wondering why this area is cleared.
We haven't investigated that room because the girl came at us from the end of 19. So
right.
Like a look around.
You already looted everything that was in this room.
I was saying 9 we haven't really explored because the girl came out.
True. So yeah, you can go ahead and move into 9. A forest of weird fungal growth infests this large cavern. Giant toadstools and puffballs stand in and among shallow pools of water or atop ledges along the walls. Those walls are covered by huge growths of shelf fungi. Water drips constantly from above. So this room around here, all this edge, and over here on this edge, there is, if you were fighting in this room and you already killed the Grell, you could have gotten higher ground to get at him because he floats, because you could have followed the shelf path. I know that Sun Moon knows what I'm talking about because we've done that 1.5 billion times playing DDO. So, yeah. But other than that, there's nothing in here. And out of the fungal growth room, there's a passage to the southwest and a passage to the and some stairs leading down that go down 10 feet to the southeast.
Does it look like the Grail had a body pile or anything to search through, or is this pretty empty other than fungus?
It's empty other than fungus.
Does any of the fungus look edible?
That's the question I was going to ask. Go ahead and make a nature check. Or you can either make a survival or a nature check, whichever your choice.
I will pass on mushrooms. I will go and take a look down those stairs.
My survival does not do well for me.
10 for nature.
I would like to stealth and peek my head in here.
Okay. Let me do the wyvern first. So, your 10 for nature, you do find some edible fungus. You find some. You find that there are some called barrel stalks, and barrel stalks are a large fungus that you can tap for water. Yeah, you can tap them and fresh water comes out. The stalk of the fungus is also edible, although not that great. There are a number of torch stalks in here. Torch stalks, you can break one off and smack it on the ground, and it will ignite, and can be used as a torch. However, when you do so, you roll a d6. If you roll a 6 on that roll, it explodes, and you take 1d4 fire damage. And then there is...
Is it possible to harvest these without igniting them?
Yes. Yes. You can harvest them and put them in your pack. Go ahead and roll a d6. So you are able to harvest 3 of these torch stalks.
Cool.
And then last but not least, and I don't have the book in front of me, so I don't remember their name. There is some of the shelf fungus is actually a type of fungus that can be roasted like meat. And if you harvest some of that, you can roll a d6, and that will be a number of rations that you can harvest from it.
I rolled a 6.
All right, so you're able to harvest 6 rations of this fungus, and it can be eaten raw, but it is usually preferred to be eaten roasted, like beef.
Oh, like a giant shiitake?
Kind of, yeah.
Portobello.
I mean, this shelf fungus, it literally looks like, it looks like a steak hanging off the side of the wall. It looks like raw meat.
Disturbing.
Yes.
I explore shit and I play with mushrooms.
Look, that wall is growing steaks.
Yay, steak.
I do have create food and water, so I don't know.
Yeah.
If you want to fly on me, those. Right.
With your nature check and harvesting these mushrooms, you realize that these are commonly found edible items in the Underdark. So, Malum, you peek your head down the stairs. The roar of falling water fills this cavern. A stream flows from a passage to the south and spills over the edge of a 40-foot wide pit. A set of slick stone steps descends into the spray-filled bowl to the north, while a passage to the west holds steps leading upward. So you're at the steps leading
Interesting.
upward.
It's cool. I want to go see.
I think I failed my stealth.
Yeah, you got a 2. Other than that, there is nothing else in room 8. Carrie, with your 2, give me just a moment so that I can peek ahead here. Oh, that's fun. Now, that's not what I'm looking for.
So it sounds like split up instant. I can't do it in your name. You do some exploding cleaner.
Oh, because I'm looking in the wrong book. I was like, what the hell? What you talking about? Here it is. Okay. Ooh, exciting. I actually have a mini for this.
Chris, how's the little kitten with new people at the house?
Oh, she loves people. I mean, she gets a little scared, but she warms up really quick.
That's awesome. I want to touch the little kitten's head.
Oh, you will. Trust me. She'll make sure of it.
I haven't seen a kitten. So that's pretty sad, but
Yes. I asked the Friday night group if anybody was allergic to cats, and they're like, the response was, "I'm allergic to not being allowed to pet your kitten." Okay, so you open the door and try to peek in, and indeed, your 2 for stealth is insufficient. This room smells of blood and death. The debris of several recent battles is scattered throughout this rough-hewn chamber. A dozen dead elemental cultists lie amid a handful of monstrous corpses, such as those of bugbears and ogres. Some of the bodies look like they have been there for months, while others are only days old. A whirlwind of air encased in armor and clutching a flail rushes into view. Roll initiative. Because his past perception is 10. You got a 2. Oh, really? Come on. I rolled a fucking 1.
Well, that's good. I turn behind me and say, "Hey guys, guys, oh shit."
Did you say something about bodies?
Oh yeah, there's piles of them in here.
I
And
love bodies.
I rolled a 7.
you had
11
a
for Erie.
8.
So Malum, you got a 7,
Yep.
and
I feel like I
Onomatopoeia
just
got
want
an
to get to
8.
the party.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one rolling low.
I'll spot it from
Ari, what'd you get?
11.
And Zarm?
I got a 3.
Wow. Well, because you're a player, you still get to go before the monster. So, you know.
With since everybody's far away, my question would be: should it be me and the monster first, and then we roll everybody else? Since
Yeah, we're gonna start
they even know.
initiative on your turn. So, what would you like to do?
All right. Well, since the rest of the party doesn't know about it, I'm gonna run back here. Say, hey guys, yeah, this thing it knows about me. Come help.
Okay. And then are you
And then
doing?
I'll hold action for anything that comes past this a spell.
Okay. All right.
Basically, you just run in going, fuck, 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 fuck.
Yeah, pretty much. That's me.
I did a thing.
It knows about you like your childhood? Does it know?
It knows what you did last.
And he does not have any line of sight on you. So he is going to ready an action for anything that comes out here. Sun Moon, what would you like to do?
I go, well, what is this thing? Use a word.
There was blood everywhere, bodies. It looked pretty cool, and I didn't want to really go in there by myself.
So what this thing is, I would think that Zarm, being elemental-based sorcerer, would know what this is. This is an air elemental myrmidon. It is basically a beefy air elemental that wears plate armor.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Elemental on steroid.
Yes.
So that's Speak's first move distance.
Okay, and so... Dum-da-dum-da-dum. Never mind, it can't do anything. Okay.
And in Orin, because Windvane lets me speak air elemental, I say, knock off all that evil, and I cast Dominate Monster DC 17 with Windvane. Because Windvane can dominate air elementals and only air elementals.
Nice.
Okay, so... Dum-da-dum. What kind of save does he get?
DC 17 of Dominate Monster, which is probably a... Gotta be a will. Wisdom? Yes.
Yeah, I
With
think it's
save
wisdom.
17.
Nope, got an 11. So he is dominated by Sun Moon.
wow. Going.
Nice. For up to an hour. Nice.
And that's the end of my turn, because I've moved and done something and cast a spell with Windvane, and also I haven't technically been attacked yet.
Okay, so let me...
So I go, I got him locked up, but you could just, waste him, or we could talk to him. Then I'm done.
Let me take a look here.
Well, you said we got up to an hour to to figure, like, we could question him before killing him.
Yep.
And then just have him jump down the tunnel that we came down on the elevator.
I don't think air elementals fall
So-
so much.
So you have a telepathic link to it.
Yeah.
And you can use the telepathic link to issue commands to the creature while you are conscious with no action required. What it does, it's best to obey. You can specify a simple and general course of action, such as attack that creature, run over there, or fetch that object. If the creature completes the order and doesn't receive further directions from you, it defends and preserves itself to the best of its ability. You can use your action to take a total and precise control of the target. Until the end of your next turn, the creature takes only the actions you choose and doesn't do anything that you won't allow it to do.
I direct it to imitate the spell. What's the dance one?
Tasha's Hideous or no.
Otto's irresistible.
Yeah, I wanted to imitate the spell Otto's Irresistible Dance.
Okay, so you now have an
Entertain
air
me.
elemental Myrmidon doing a dance.
Gonna play your flute? Yeah.
Yes.
Have
Yep.
a dance party up in here. It'll be great. There's
Does-
dances everywhere. It's very festive.
Does anybody else? Oh, it speaks Auran and Common.
I speak Orin and
Let's see here.
To go play with the bodies and by
So-
animate them.
It asks in a cold voice. It just simply says, "Whom do you serve?"
Myself, whom do you serve?
It says that it serves the cult of the Howling
I wish I'd
Hatred
seen
and the Elder Elemental Eye.
Can he tell us the weaknesses of the Elder Elemental Eye?
Hmm.
Come on, Mike.
Shit, I can't even tell you what the weaknesses of the Elder Elemental Eye is.
Mix them up, and then we can use them.
Yes.
Has a weakness for cheesecake. Yeah.
Yes. No. It tells you the Elder Elemental Eye isn't a single being. It informs you that the Elder Elemental Eye is the confluence of what are their names? Imix, Ogramok, Ol Hydra, and Yansi Ben.
Mm.
That's the Elder Elemental Eye is more of like a council of the four evil elemental princes.
So this is an air elemental in the Stone Temple pilot.
It's in
guarding
the
the room?
Fane of the Eye, yes.
Oh, okay.
And it tells you that as far as weaknesses, you've already, using the telepathic link, it tells you that you've already set upon that path by interrupting the rituals and leadership of each of these elemental cults. You have greatly damaged the Elder Elemental Eye, and it tells you that the other two cult leaders, Gar Shatterkeel and Vanifer, have retreated to their nodes below. So Gar Shatterkeel has retreated to the Plunging Torrent, and Vanifer has retreated to the Weeping Colossus.
Now, when he's the air elemental, when the Myrmidon's freed, will he have to defend this room? Will he attack us? Will he let us pass on through? What are his
So his orders
when I
were
free him.
to defend this room. But since he's now essentially friends with you, he tells you that the numerous corpses in this hall have already been looted, but you might be able to scrounge up any cloaks, surcoats, or robes that would be enough to create 5 air cultist disguises, or 4 earth cultist disguises, and 1 fire cultist disguise.
You can just put whatever one you want.
Well, I'll share this. I mean, however long my talking turn would last. Obviously, it can't go on for a giant long conversation in the midst of what other people want to do with initiative. But I'll relay that I've got him under control for probably an hour, but we've got to decide what to do with that hour.
Just stash him in room 8.
Who told him to stay in 20? And what was he defending? And who was sending these things in that he had to... Those have been my 3.
Due to a lack of leadership in the Howling Hatred, he was ordered to guard 20 by Marlos Ernrail. So essentially, what he's telling you is that because you guys killed Arisi Kalanoth pretty early on, Marlos was attempting to absorb leadership of the Howling Hatred into the Sacred Stone Monks. Sorry, I had to look at my notes here because there's lines drawing all over the place of who's who and whatnot.
It would probably be better to disguise ourselves as Earth Cult.
Do we want to check out the stairway in 8 and some other things for
So yeah,
come back here?
Yeah, out of this room is a 10-foot descending stairway to the south.
We could order the thing to go in front of us wherever we go.
Meat shield.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, let's do that.
ED wind shield, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna raise 2 of the bodies as zombies and sort of take note of the different cloaks so that I can
Dress the zombies up as air cultists. That would be hilarious. Let me grab another drink. I'll be right back.
My cloak can change into one of those.
That's true. I will be right back. I'm going to grab a soda.
And have the zombies negotiate for us.
That's right.
Exactly. Yay, 2 zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So I've discovered that 47 is the age exactly when you injure your back while bending over filling a bag of coffee at the store. Yeah, I was bending over, putting my coffee beans in the bag, and I'm like, ow, God.
I've personally witnessed less being required to throw your back out.
That's true. I mean, like, literally, I can get out of bed in the morning and throw my back out. I mean, I was born crippled, but... So, where are you guys going to go from here? So, are you dressing up 2 of the zombies as Weekend at Bernie's? Negotiators?
Sure. Which temple do you want these guys to be from?
Air. I vote.
Sounds good. Should we direct the Myrmidon to help us explore 9 and 8?
You're in charge of that, right? I don't know.
Well, if the party doesn't want to explore 9 and 8, then we can go right on through 20.
Yeah, I'm done sticking my head into random places.
You learned your lesson.
Well, I want to check out that one spot that I'm standing.
The what now? So you want to go check out the hall or the passage to the south?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Poke
I'll have
my
the
head in
Myrmidon
there.
come with us.
Okay.
Have him go down the hallway first. With orders to defend from attackers.
Okay. So this hall goes south, and there is a 10-foot descending staircase, continues to the south, and there is a passage that leads to the west.
I'll ask him what's down those 2 corridors.
So let's see here. He says, oops, as I bash my knee into the table. He says that to the south is a pit that contains a rust monster,
Let's not go there.
and to the west is the wind prison.
I'll ask him where the water.
He says the river flows from the south to the north, and he says that if you go upriver, as my cat just completely destroys my setup here. He says that upriver is an area where you can find numerous, or he says that there are 2 water weirds to the north, but other than that, there's a passage that leads up. It leads up to the Temple of the Crushing Wave.
Interesting. Where do you guys want to go?
In prison.
Sounds good.
All of the above.
You want to go see the rust monster?
Oh yeah.
It tells you that that when you go through the passage to the west, it leads to the wind prison, but the wind prison entrance is guarded by a nest of harpies.
Well, if we're below the wave, does anybody have any to go?
Lost you on that last part.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was asking if there's any need to go to.
What now?
Got out
So
at
what you're saying
opposite
is we want to go to.
That goes up to the keep you guys have, right? The crushing wave.
Correct.
I don't need anything.
Does the Myrmidon think he can handle the harpies?
Probably. Oh, yeah, the Myrmidon says that harpies are of no consequence.
All
So
right.
should we go check out the air prison, the wind prison?
Yeah, let's
Oh,
do that, but
yeah.
let's go from 2 different directions. Let's come in from 20 as well.
Split the party.
Okay.
That's the
I'll,
fastest way to get through a dungeon.
Go his arm.
We got this.
Yeah.
It's faster because the whole party dies on round 3. Then you're done.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna speed run upstairs. Get us. Hold on.
Hold on here, I'm populating. I don't have anything for that. I guess that'll work.
If it's alright, I'll take one of the cloaks too to match the air elemental cultist. I want to walk in with the zombies.
The
Looks
zombies.
so lively.
You have to practice your zombie moaning and walk.
Are we keeping track of how long the one guy's under control so he doesn't snap and stab us?
Yeah. I mean, an hour is a good length of time. For these guys.
So I'll have the Myrmidon go down the hall before we signal up to room 20, see what's down there.
Okay, hold on. Just a moment. Okay. So, you're going the West Hall, correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right. A bronze torch glowing with a magical light lies next to the corpse of a bare-chested man with a shield in the shape of a crab shell and a broken shark-toothed sword. Several other corpses are scattered on the floor. Some have been picked down to the bone, their clothing and armor discarded nearby, while others have hardly been touched. The walls are uneven, with small ledges and fissures on all sides. The ceiling is about 100 feet high. Everybody make a perception check.
So many corpses.
And the air elemental Myrmidon gets a 4 for his perception check.
He doesn't realize there's harpies.
I was way too busy looking at corpses to pay attention.
You're all excited by the corpses.
Yep.
Not 20.
Nice.
Perception, so 25.
25, yeah. So you guys are not surprised.
I am.
You, Malum, you come in right behind the air elemental, and you see at the ceiling. So this ceiling's like 100 feet high, and you see that perched on the highest ledges are these 3 harpies that are looking down, and they are getting ready to swoop down and attack. Everybody, go ahead and roll initiative. Onomatopoeia, you got a 5.
Ah,
22.
Nice.
Nat 20 plus 4 is 24.
Okay.
And as a free action, as I roll initiative, I go, what the fuck is that?
They're flying
Okay.
boobies.
Dear Lord.
Let's see here. Sunmoon, you're already in. Malum, what'd you get?
22.
Jesus. Zarm got a whole whopping 3. And the air elemental.
How
Got-
high off the ground are they?
They're like 100 feet up.
Oh, shit.
So, Ari, what would you like to do?
Well, it would take too long to raise more. I'm gonna send my 2 air zombies in. Tell them to be a distraction.
Okay. So your two, the two zombies that are dressed like air elemental cultists, kind of wander in, and let's see here.
You could swap out from the cultist zombies to harpy zombies when we're done.
The disguises on the zombies do not trick the harpies. They are aware that this is tomfoolery going on, and are looking like one of them's looking like they're just going to shred. On their turn, they're going to shred one of these zombies to nothing. Do you have anything else you'd like to do?
Can I ready a witch bolt for when one comes down?
Sure. What's the?
I was gonna say, can Witch Bolt reach?
Yeah, I was gonna say you might be able to just witch bolt them anyways.
Oh, it's 30.
feet.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can ready a witch bolt for as soon as one comes into range, if you'd like. If that works for you.
Yep.
Okay. Malum, what would you like to do?
With a tiny gallop, Wyvern will pounce between these guys and take to circling the room at about 40 feet.
Okay.
And from there, I will
So almost half the
take a
distance.
shot. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a shot at him with my longbow.
Go for it. Which one do you want to shoot at?
I'll shoot at the one that's straight in front, doing a counterclock. Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
I doubt an 8 hit.
No. In fact, let me double check something. So, do you have the mounted combatant feat?
No, I do not. Which is probably why I rolled so low.
So it does not say. The only reason why I ask is because I know that, especially with a bow, firing. Here we go. Mounted combat. Of course. See combat. No, why don't you just give me the page number, dick? The reason why I ask is I would think that would impose disadvantage, but I may be incorrect.
It looks like mounted combat grants the feat grants advantage.
To unmounted, right?
It's smaller than your mount, and
right.
Force them to attack your mount. I would like that when I get the chance. That'd be good for me.
Right. Yeah, it's a great feat for the benefits that it gives, but let's see here. Mounted combat.
Yeah, I've been looking at that one.
It says nothing about that being at disadvantage. It doesn't matter because it's still missed, but I was just thinking it would be a disadvantage, but it does not say that. So, so you miss. You have another attack. I mean, you could do it again if you want to.
I'm gonna hold off on that, but I will ready a stinger attack with the wyvern in case any of them come nearby while we're circling.
Okay. All right. So this harpy moves down to attack the zombie. So Aerie, you can go ahead and fire off Witch Bolt. Go ahead and make your ranged spell attack.
Uh, 16.
Yeah, you hit. So roll your lightning damage.
2.
Okay. And as long as you hold concentration on that spell, you can do it next turn and continue to do it until they die without having to make another attack roll.
Yep.
Okay. So the harpy is going to attack the zombie.
Poor Zen.
And it has a club. And its first attack on the zombie probably did actually hit, to be real honest. It only rolled a 6, but zombies aren't really hard to hit. They're just hard to kill. No, 6 misses with the club. I'm shocked. And then it's going to try to claw the zombie. And that hits with an 18, and my fat fingers are trying to get my dice. For 9 points of damage. So zombies, so you might want to write this down on a piece of scratch paper or whatever. Zombies have an armor class of 8, and they have 22 hit points. So he just took...
Mine have 25.
Okay, and he just took 9.
Okie
So that is this zombie, and he is right there. This zombie is going to move and attack Malum. The wyvern can make its tail attack.
The 18th?
18 hits.
Are they vulnerable to poison?
It got a 13 on its con save. They're not vulnerable, but they will take it just like anybody else.
10 for the piercing damage.
Okay.
$25 on the poison.
Jesus. And it is poisoned and at disadvantage for attack rolls and ability checks. So it is going to attempt to attack you at disadvantage.
Attack Malum or the wyvern?
The wyvern, and it misses with its club for a total of 8, and it got a 14 on its claw attack.
That misses also.
Okay. Oh my god, this cat. Ah! You're not paying attention to me. Okay, third harpy. The third harpy is going to move over here, and instead of attacking the wyvern, it is going to attack Malum directly. 25 to hit with its club.
It hits him.
For a whole terrifying 5 points of bludgeoning damage. And then it's going to claw. And gets a 17 to hit.
17 does not hit.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sun Moon, what would you like to do?
I will use Speak to make his leapy attack on that harpy.
Okay.
And so then we go with Deadly Leap.
They got a nat 20 on their save.
Okay, so then 11 points and pushed.
Well, more like over here.
I'm still writing Speak, so I'll Wind Vane the same harpy.
Okay. That is a hit for 10.
Second Wind Vane.
That is a hit.
Not a hit. Oh, that is?
Yep.
Oh. Then I'll Key Point and Flurry.
Okay.
And Stunning Strike with that first one. DC 17.
No. He is stunned. She is stunned?
And then, yep. I don't know if 12 also hits, but
That is a
that's what I
hit.
rolled.
Okay.
How's the harpy looking after all those?
Not great.
So that harpy in front of Speak is stunned, auto fail, strength and dex saves, so spellcasters, do your worst. I'm done.
Alright. Air Elemental Myrmidon is going to move over here and attack the harpy. With a 22 to hit.
Nice.
Doing 12 points of damage. And it is going to choose to finish him by doing a lightning strike for an additional 48 points of damage.
Overkill, Myrmidon.
For an additional 18 points of damage, and this harpy is no more.
Chicken. It tastes like chicken.
I don't think you want to eat those breasts. It might taste like fried chicken, but it looks like a couple of fried eggs hanging on a nail. And then the Myrmidon flies up and attacks this harpy. With a 27 to hit. For 8 points of damage. And it's going to swing again. With a 19 to hit for another 8 points of damage. Alright. Man, that's like a freaking tank.
Mm-hmm.
Onomatopoeia, what would you like to do?
I'd like to toll the dead on the harpy. This one's injured, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and my spell saves 16, so I think that's what they have to.
He saved with, or she saved with an 18.
Oh, well, that's lame.
You're dong. You're. So
Yes,
we're the question that we had.
insult.
The question that we had last night is if you have a Duergar, so they're armed with war picks, and the Duergar uses his enlarge ability, does the war pick stay the same size? Does this really big dwarf coming at you with a really small pick?
It's proportionate.
Have you
It's
guys
a
ever
normal thing.
They make
Have you
pills
ever
for that.
seen pictures of the guy that plays the Mountain in Game of Thrones holding a coffee cup?
Yeah, right. That's what I kind of
exactly what
imagine it looking like. Exactly, like it's a little teacup. Do
The
you?
man behind the corner.
Okay.
Saying
Do
it.
you want? Oh, you don't get to make stealth checks as a bonus action. Right. Okay. All right. So you run around the corner out of line of sight. Zarm, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna run over here, just basically get better line of sight, and then I'm gonna do on the closest harpy, and then I will spend a twin spell and do the same one.
Nice.
Okay. And you're gonna hit the other one as well. Ooh, crit.
Yeah, I think I got the second one.
Yeah, you did. So yeah, you let out this firebolt, and on the second one, like the harpy, some of its wing or some of its feathers on its wings are actually on fire. And Zerm's cloak billows ominously. Ari, what would you like to do?
So alive that had witch bolt on.
Oh
Or is it
yes. You can you move Witch Bolt as an action, or do you have to recast?
I'd have to.
So you would have to recast to attack the next target.
Okay.
So who do you? I guess the question is, which one of these two do you want to ruin their day? Okay.
That one. Are either of
No,
I'm
they're
sorry, you're
both
cutting
already
out.
conducting.
are either of them on the ground?
No, they're flying up trying to attack Malum. but
Well,
We're,
then,
but they are low
we're
enough that you
shooting.
could hit them with Witch Bolt. Because they had to. He didn't go all the way up.
No.
20.
That hits.
Being that this one is on fire, does that give us advantage because he's all glowy?
No, he's not that on fire. If he was that on fire, he'd die.
Hold on, I'm gonna cast another spell.
Hold my beer.
7 points.
Okay, another 7. Ouch. So yeah, he's not looking real great. Do you have anything else you'd like to do?
Tell my zombies and my skeleton really try for.
So your zombies and skeletons are down on the ground jumping up, but they're not able to reach.
Yep.
I just need a pep.
Malum, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna try a new trick that I've been teaching the wyvern. I'm gonna tell wyvern to fly, dive down below the harpy, and I'm gonna jump off the wyvern and try to land on the harpy.
All right, go ahead and make a grapple check. This should
Please,
be
zombie, get out of the way. Here I come.
interesting.
Huzzah!
Ugh. So
Oh,
your grapple check succeeds because the harpy rolls a 1. And
Nice.
you both its movement, because it is grappled, becomes 0. So it falls out of the air and falls 30 feet to the floor. And both of you take 7 points of damage from falling.
I will accept that.
And so this harpy is now grappled and rolling on the floor with Malum. What else do you have? What would you like your wyvern to do?
Well, he was gonna catch me if I missed, so he can just dive down and circle around to the ground over here.
Okay. So this harpy,
Actually, I'm gonna move him a little bit closer to me. Well, in there.
all right. So this harpy is going to shit an egg. This harpy starts singing. Everybody needs to make within a 300 foot radius. Any humanoid or giant needs to make a DC 11 Wisdom saving throw.
Ah, shit.
Is it against being frightened?
No,
What kind of save?
it is a DC 11 Wisdom saving throw versus being charmed. Now,
Oh,
as an elf, I don't know that you have to worry about that. Let me double check that. Don't
Speak
elves?
fails his save.
He's enamored. My pet. Never been charmed before.
I get advantage.
You get advantage on it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Fey ancestry. Yeah,
So that would be a 7.
a 7.
17.
Okay, 17. Yeah, you save. Speak got a 6. So Speak is enamored and is charmed by the harpy. Onomatopoeia got an 8.
Is
You
that
are.
charm person or just charm everything?
It's charm
Wait,
everything.
it's
Huh?
humanoid.
Well,
It
no,
wouldn't work on speak.
No, Speak doesn't have to make the save because it's
Okay.
only against humanoids and giants.
Okay.
So Speak is not charmed, but Onomatopoeia is charmed.
I'm charmed. Malum's charmed.
Is the song like
Yep.
something I could copy later?
Well, I was holding it. I couldn't.
Probably not. But
You
it would
could
be
you
neat.
could copy the song, but you wouldn't get the charm effect.
It would just make people think harpies are around.
Right.
So I should tuck that in my back pocket. That might be useful at some.
So you sit down with a harpy practicing. Now play the middle part. What's the bridge again?
The Myrmidon doesn't have to make a save. Malum, what'd you get?
A 9.
Okay, so you're charmed. Zarm, what'd you get?
Um,
7.
Okay.
7 crap. That's one foxy harpy, I guess.
Mhm.
So Sun Moon saved. Okay, so anybody. The reason why I'm looking at this and measuring is because anybody that will be within 5 feet of the harpy has to move immediately on their turn. Move towards the zombie or towards the harpy. But you are all of you that failed are charmed, and so like onomatopoeia, you'll want to come into the room on your turn, and that will be the only action that you can do. The other harpy that is grappled is going to attempt to. Oh well, no, because Malum is charmed. So the harpy, with your charm, you let go of the harpy, and it is no longer grappled. And it is going to make an attack on the wyvern.
Get it, Wivy.
And it is going to miss with a 7. And hit with a 19 for its claws. And Wivy takes 6 points of slashing damage.
I will avenge you.
Sun Moon, what would you like to do?
Which harpy sang?
This one.
Okay. Pouncy jump. Backside
Okay.
of the harpy.
The harpy gets a 5 for its save, so it's going to eat a lot of shit. Let's see here. Wow.
28 and prone.
And you put a stop to that crap, like, immediately, because it is now dead.
Yay. Then is the third harpy still flailing about in the air, or are they on the ground?
They're on the ground.
Okay, then I will have Speak finish a move, and I will wind vein that last harpy.
Okay.
Hey, and I let go, so I'm not in the way.
Yeah, those of you who were charmed are no longer charmed because the harpy is now shredded goo on the floor.
Well, that and I'm not grappled.
I was just learning how to love.
So let's see. There's 2 wind vein attacks.
And you kill it with the first one.
Okay.
It is
because
dead.
I killed something in the beginning, I get my temporary hit points. Yay! And the party's not charmed.
No. Party is no longer charmed. So in this room, the bodies on the floor include a water cultist, and that's the figure with the crab shell shield and broken sword. There are 2 lizard folk, an ogre, a male halfling in robes of a cleric of Soon, and a female half-elf fighter in battered plate armor. You find in their nest, I will type this out, they have collected loot that has 560 silver pieces, 220 gold pieces, a gold bracelet, a silver ewer.
What is that? How is that spelled?
Ewer. I don't know what that is.
It's like a fancy pitcher for wine.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. One of those weird curvy ones.
Yeah.
A pair of silver earrings. Because, harpies like to look their best sometimes.
Everyone wants to look pretty once in a while.
Silver earrings shaped like skulls. Even better.
Cool.
I think we know someone who wants to wear those.
Yo.
Yeah, get the whole theme going.
So these harpies shopped at Hot Topic. And a potion of superior healing.
What of healing?
Potion of superior healing.
I'm gonna pull out one of the banshees or the harpy's fangs and attach it to my necklace.
Well, they don't really have fangs, but you could yank out one of their claws off their talons. Their feet
I'll
have.
take a claw.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll add that to the bullet tooth necklace that I've been working on.
Nice. Like the centerpiece, just bullet teeth and a harpy claw.
I have a general question.
I got one bullet tooth and now one claw, so I'm gonna pull something different off everything.
Nice. Zarm.
Who had the no distance range attack for spellcasting, or is that Aerie?
She was out of range because they were at 100 feet.
No, that's fine. I've got a wand of magic missile that has 120 feet. So if you want that, that might help for anything.
Sure.
It's standard magic missile wand.
So one of the things it was new players that come into the group, I always tell them just take whatever mundane gear you get with your background and class. And if you're joining a higher level group, don't worry about magic items. And everybody always questions that. Well, I'm higher level, Like, trust me, it's not like I'm completely stingy. These guys have stuff sitting around in bags that they'll share with you.
Yeah. I don't think Aries going to use Iron Fang or +3 chainmail, but we still have those from
No.
other stuff.
What kind of armor was the cleric wearing? I was wondering if I should hold it for Sarah, maybe.
So he's not. He isn't wearing any armor. He's just wearing clerical robes, and they're robes.
Oh.
You can recognize them as robes of Soon. So
Oh, okay, that's like the
this
god that they
this
wear.
is one of those naughty halflings. Soon is the goddess of beauty, and temples of Soon. You can go in there, and they will give you a makeover. And a number of them are prostitutes, and yeah, so they have baths and like in Chult in Port Nyanzaru, the Temple of Soon, when you go in, there's like a list of, well, if your charisma is, this to this, they treat you happily. But if your charisma is like below 7, they all have a sad look on their face and want to usher you off into a room to try and help you.
Charge you double.
Yes.
Okay. I was confused. I thought it was like something special, but that you're just talking about
No.
the thing that they worship. All right. Good to know.
Chris, how long of our hour on the Dominate Monster do we think it's been? 10 minutes so far?
It's maybe been 10 minutes, yeah.
Okay. So what's in the, I asked him what's in the room to the west now? And the south.
I'm gonna take a moment to raise 2 more zombies.
Okay.
Can you make the
'Cause these
harpy
ones look
zombies?
If they count as humanoids, then yes.
You could have flying zombie monkeys.
Everybody make a perception check.
$15.
Nice. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys, wow. Okay. So you can hear the sound of just a howling torrential wind coming from the Western Passage. And the air elemental tells you that there is a pit known as the Howling Pit. It is 80 feet deep and tapers into a tunnel that leads down to the Howling Caves, which is the node for the Temple of the Howling Hatred cult, air elementals. And chaotic gusts of wind blow up and down the shaft. And that's all that's in there. And there is a stairwell that leads up to the south, and it is the stairwell is actually the skeleton of a giant worm.
And I want to see that. That is cool.
That is not the prison. That is
a giant.
And then to the southeast, this passage leads to the Wind Prison.
Well, I vote worm skeleton. Take a gander. I just want to go, wow, look at that.
Go ahead. Split the party.
You first. So, no, if you go down that way, that leads to a pit with a rust monster in it.
Wait, which way was the way with the worm skeleton thing then?
Yeah, over here.
Over there. Okay, I'm gonna go that way. I just want to look at it. I want to gawk.
I will go with you.
Yeah, gawkers, unite. Ooh, neat.
I will have Wyvern follow us from a distance so it doesn't give us away.
Ooh.
Close enough, if I scream like a girl, it'll come running.
I'll throw a rock down number 2.
You want to do what now?
I'll throw a rock down number 2.
So you try to throw a rock down, and the rock goes about halfway down and just hangs there. That's how strong the wind is that's coming up out of this shaft.
I'm gonna push my skeleton into the hole.
The skeleton doesn't drop at all. The gust of wind coming up from from below holds it aloft, and the skeleton's just kind of standing there flailing about.
It's a skydiving skelly.
Like you could totally like get some flight practice.
Yeah, it sounds kind of fun.
We'll tie a rope to you so you don't go too far.
In skydiving. Yeah.
So, and then you find to the south when you go along the worm, um, the skeleton of a giant worm is fused to the sides of this long tunnel, disappearing into a nearly vertical tunnel, 50 feet above the floor. Wooden steps have been lashed to the bones, creating a makeshift staircase. Several odd backpacks lie in piles on the floor at the foot of the stairs. So,
Odd backpacks.
right where the wyvern is, you find these backpacks, and they are peculiar looking.
Investigate.
Okay.
I will do a stealth check for or perception check for trapped.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Shit, I got a 12 for perception.
That's good enough. They're not trapped. Onomatopoeia, go ahead and make your investigate check.
Can I use perception or do I have to do investigate?
You could use perception.
My perception's. Yeah, I got 23.
Way better
So-
than me.
You kind of look at these and you find you discover that these aren't really backpacks per se. They are balloon packs. So these are a backpack that contains the spirit of an air elemental and a compact leather balloon. While you're wearing the backpack, you can deploy the balloon as an action and gain the effect of the levitate spell for 10 minutes, targeting yourself and requiring no concentration. Alternatively, you can use a reaction to deploy the balloon when you're falling and gain the effect of the featherfall spell for yourself. When either spell ends, the balloon slowly deflates and the elemental spirit escapes and returns to the elemental plane of air. As the balloon deflates, you descend gently toward the ground for up to 60 feet, or for up to 60 feet. If you are still in the air at the end of this distance, you fall, if you have no other means of staying aloft. After the spirit departs, the backpack's property is unusable unless the backpack is recharged for 1 hour in an air elemental node, which binds another spirit to the backpack.
How many of these are there?
There are. I was just looking that up because I knew you were going to want to know. 5. There are 5 of these.
All
I
right.
will take 2 if nobody wants them.
Just in case you fall off the wyvern.
Strap them all to speak, and then let him go down the tube.
I got wingwear, and then I also Malin gave me like a, what do you call that? A parachute. I already
Yeah,
have
you get
that.
parachute.
I mean, they probably don't weigh a whole lot. We could just carry them around.
Yep.
That's super cool. Right, should we go down 1 then?
So
Climb up the
is-
bones.
Is anybody taking those? Besides me?
I was gonna carry him if nobody else would. I'm just like the rat for the whole group generally.
I'll split them with you. You can take 3. I'll take 2.
Okay, I'll hand him out if we need him. So,
Okay. So yeah, that was all encompassed with 1, and 2 is the howling wind that comes up. The exact description is: wind howls as it climbs this dark shaft. So out of this area, from 1, there is a passage that goes to the east.
who's brave? Who's brave enough to look down a hallway?
I won't stealth. I'll just walk in this time.
Same difference, right?
Stealth last time. Yeah.
Okay.
I fear if I stealth, I'll actually trip over myself and fall in.
Yeah, you're louder when you try.
So you get to the end of the hallway. Is anybody else going with Zarm?
I'll follow.
Okay.
I'll go.
Since last time he went on his own, I had to come find him to help.
You got an elemental out of the deal.
Yep, I did.
Yeah, you can't really. Yeah, it worked out in your favor. So, a stone pedestal in the middle of this cavern holds a glassy sphere about 8 inches in diameter. The sphere seems to contain swirling smoke. Battered armor, damaged weapons, and tattered clothing are strewn around the chamber, but the floor within 10 feet of the sphere is free of such debris. Several weapons on the ground seem like they might still be serviceable, although they are all badly worn.
Somebody go touch the orb.
Go lick it.
Sounds like
You need to do the taste test.
We actually had a player in this game that would run up and lick things that they shouldn't lick.
It's mine now. I licked it.
Yeah, well,
Pretty.
well, the best one was when they walked into our room that there were 5 vats with fetid water and rendered fat floating on them, and she immediately licked the water, which caused ghouls to come out. Yeah, and I made her make a con save for for numerous diseases.
Can I do an Arcana or a History check to see if I know what's going on in here with the orb?
Go ahead. Yeah, you can make an Arcana check. No, you have no idea. You've never seen anything like this.
There's something weird going on in here, guys.
Is the air elemental still with us?
Yeah, I would have had him tagging along, or I can call him from that room.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you told him to stay or not.
Yeah, have them come in from the north, and we'll come in from the south and see if we can just sneak right by.
I wonder if they know what this thing is.
Was I able to get my skeleton back from the hole, or floating there indefinitely?
Yeah, he flailed around, and you were able to reach out and grab him and pull him back in.
Okay.
So what are you going to do?
I want the air elemental to come down, presuming we've just kind of spaced him, but yeah, come down there.
Okay.
And ask him what this room is with my telepathy.
He knows that this room is known as the Wind Prison, but that's all that he knows. He's never been in here. And this is the pedestal.
We don't really see any prisoners, but they call it what they call it.
So this thing looks like. Have you ever seen one of those? A lot of hippies from the '70s had those, where they would look like a clear picture frame, and they would tilt back and forth, and the swirls of water would go inside and back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
This looks like
Oil and wax.
Yeah, exactly. And this looks like exactly like that, except it's a sphere, and it's not tilting back and forth, but you can see it stuff swirling around inside this black orb.
I'm gonna tell my skeleton to go.
Okay, so your skeleton goes and touches it. The skeleton needs to make a DC 20 Strength saving throw.
Okay.
Easy.
What do you get?
That's 2.
Okay.
Close.
So the skeleton touches the orb, and suddenly there is a whirlwind that picks the skeleton up and suspends it 20 feet in the air. The orb vanishes as the whirlwind forms.
Oh, is this an air destruction orb?
I hope not.
Maybe? I don't think so.
Ooh.
So the skeleton takes 1 point of bludgeoning damage. And when that happens, 4 swords animate and fly up out of the debris on the floor and attack. Roll initiative.
What is with my initiative roll? Every time it's a 2 or 3.
I had a 20 today, or I mean, just now.
Yeah, maybe you've switched with onomatopoeia.
Mm-hmm.
22 for Airy.
Okay. Malum.
Oh, hell yeah. 23.
Nice. Onomatopoeia. What'd you get? You got a 15. Oh, nice.
Got 20.
20.
Got 20. No, I got a 15. You're right. I'm sorry. Jeez, I was looking at the thing below me.
Oh.
Bad.
And Sun Moon, you're at 20. All right. Oh, and the air elemental. Wow. Look at the big brain on the elemental.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Malum, you see down the hall these, you hear clanging and you hear a collective gasp from the party, and you can hear this whirlwind going around. What do you want to do?
I will move Wyvern his 20 feet to there. And then I will do a little pop off, tuck and roll, and make my way down the hallway.
Yeah, you could move and attack this this guy with this sword.
1 second. I will use my bonus for a dash action.
Okay.
So I will get to him and do an attack with what is that sword? The Frostbrand.
Okay.
Soft 20.
Yep. That hits.
I'll hit him. And, 9 damage for slashing and 5 points for cold
Okay.
and 8 for sneak.
Okay. I'm like,
I,
can you sneak attack a sword? But yeah. Okay.
I will use my fancy footwork to use the last bit of my dash to do a little tuck and roll over here and swing at that guy.
Okay.
1927.
Yep. That hits.
Same thing. Let's see. 7 for slashing. 9 for frost. And 4 more for sneak.
Okay.
And that will be my turn.
All right. Actually, you don't get the sneak again. You only get it once per turn.
I thought it was once per attack. But
It's once
I
per
think you're
turn.
totally wrong.
Yeah, it's once per
Oh,
turn.
okay. Well, then
Um.
take off that last 4.
Okay. Ari, what would you like to do?
Is my skeleton still in the air, or is he back on the ground?
No,
Yeah,
he's
you
still
can-
floating up in the air. He can make another DC
Oh,
20 strength
different.
check.
I guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got a 2 again.
Yeah, no, he takes another 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
He'll die then. Again.
just sit there and finger flick him constantly until he dies.
My zombie.
The whirlwind is causing the skeleton to take his own hand and slap him. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Well, that's it wasn't a.
So
Zombies are gonna attack
zombies. Okay.
4 zombies.
So 4 zombies. Go ahead and make your attack.
7, 16, 13.
Nope.
None of them hit.
None of them hit.
Um,
Sorry, you're cutting out.
Let me reset. I reset Discord. Hopefully that'll help.
That might help. You might need to turn up your microphone gain.
I'm gonna try to chill touch against that one.
Okay. Go ahead and make your spell attack.
15.
15 is a miss.
Okay.
Man. Who knew that flying swords were so hard to hit? Did you have anything else you wanted to do?
Laugh at my skeleton.
That's a free action. Sun Moon, what would you like to do?
I will also laugh at the skeleton. And then I will have Speak do his jumpy pouncy thing. Speaky dive.
So those 2 swords. Got a 17 on their save.
So they still take 14. And pushed.
They just kind of go, wah! Splayed out.
And then I will Wind Vane the southeastern guy.
Okay.
Could be what? That's down to 2%.
That's a miss. 18.
That hits.
Okay, and then I will just do a regular single bonus unarmed on him.
Okay. All right, and that hits, and that sword goes clattering to the ground.
Okay, that's all I got. I'm done.
Okay. The air elemental is going to hit this guy.
Go mirror me.
23 to hit.
Good job.
For 6 points. And he will do another lightning strike for an additional 48. For an additional 19 points of damage, and this sword clatters to the ground.
We split their party.
And he will move up here and make his other 2 attacks on this guy. Nat 20. For 20 points of damage, and he puts this guy down. And then, let's see here. We'll call that 10. He walks and then flies to this one and
Small?
gets another nat 20. For an additional for 13 points and puts this sword down. And then it turns and looks at Sun Moon and says, the area is secure.
All right.
He's Judge Dredd.
I'll clack my heels together and salute and thank him for his service.
And as soon as those swords are put down, the whirlwind dies down back to the pedestal, and the skeleton falls to the ground, taking another 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, he fell apart and died.
Oh, okay. And so the skeleton clatters, the bones clatter across the floor, and that is all that was in this room.
Poor skeleton.
I want to know why it's called the Wind Prison.
Well,
The
the
wind
wind
was
was
in a
contained in the orb.
Oh, it's a prison for the wind.
Yes. And then leading out of this room is a passage. The stairs descend 10 feet to a passage going to the east.
Does the Myrmidon know what's down there?
That leads to the pit with the rust
The
monster.
rust monster.
I think we can take a rust monster.
What do you use when you attack things?
Nom 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 nom.
Do you want to keep your fancy weapons?
I have no need for metal.
I
Because it's a nice pet.
could leave my.
Yeah, you can have a rust monster mount, Carrie. Go train it. We'll watch.
There's
My
plenty
rolls
of
have been
those
pretty
here.
bad so far. Yeah.
I gotta improve.
Nobody
Send
wins.
the air element. I mean, we don't get to keep him next round.
Nobody wins at D&D. They just do a little better each time.
Yeah, we can tell the Myrmidon to go handle the rust monster.
We could.
We could sell tickets. Fight of the century.
Thunderdome.
So are you guys heading down the stairs to the rust monster pit?
Sure, we'll have the Myrmidon lead the way.
Okay. It just kind of shrugs and it's like, okay. If that's what you want to do.
We run away.
I'm gonna stash my hammer somewhere. I don't want it to get destroyed by this one.
I don't think I have a rust monster. Oh, I do have a rust monster.
I remember that one dungeon in D&D Online that had a rust monster. We'd all like, okay, put your weapons away, just punch it for 5 minutes.
Well, that was the second time we went in. The first time we were like, oh shit, we lost all our gear.
Yeah.
And it sucked because that I remember that it kept critting on us.
Yeah.
I think I ended up finally beating it to death using Muckbane because, you know, it's a club.
It didn't take damage from hitting the rust monster.
Right, yeah, because it's wood.
I think technically Muckbane was a glass enchanted Oozebane club.
Technically, yeah, you're probably right.
We want to try stealthing in here and getting a first round.
Go, have a good time. Knock yourself out.
I thought you were sending the Aaron elemental.
Yeah. Oh, Carrie can go first if he wants. I don't want to take his kill.
No, that's Legolas's job.
I'm taking my bow out. I'm gonna use my bow.
Send Carrie and the Myrmidon in, and then we'll get a couple rows of bleachers and we'll watch.
So let's see here.
where do you want to be?
A low, thin mist clings to the floor of this cave, and the walls glisten with moisture. Several sets of crude bronze manacles are anchored to the walls, and 3 hold haggard human captives. The captives are unconscious, although they groan and writhe slowly. A steady breeze blows toward a passage to the west, while from the east comes the distant sound of running water. So, let me open up some of this.
Go get him, Ray.
Where are the people? Does it matter?
They'll owe me a halfling life debt once we rescue them.
So, because you're aware that the rest monster is there, you kind of squint and you can see that obscured in the mist, this rest monster appears to be rummaging around, and appears that it has been here for some time, and it does look hungry. And as soon as it sees you, especially the Myrmidon, because the Myrmidon's wearing plate armor, it begins to move to attack.
Quick, somebody throw something metal and say fetch.
Go ahead and roll initiative.
Myrmidon, fetch.
Yeah, we'll stick the Myrmidon on it.
We literally just took out 4 flying swords.
Dear God, are you kidding me?
Can we pick up the sword corpses?
Broken sword skeletons and bring them with us.
Yeah. Yeah, Onomatopoeia is still back in the room. She could grab a sword and come down and feed the rest monster. So Zarm, you got a whole whopping 3, huh? Wow. Onomatopoeia got 14.
Okay, it does roll something better than 3. I just had to check.
Yeah, you just had to make sure. Malum, what'd you get?
15.
And Ari?
That was also.
Another 15.
You can go before me if you want.
Oops. Okay. And Sun Moon, you got a 16. All right. Okay, so the air elemental immediately moves forward and attacks the rust monster. That's the lowest roll this guy has gotten.
Yeah, he's rolled real strong so far.
He misses on his first attack with a 9. .26 for his second attack. For 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And an additional 48. And 25 points of damage. And his last attack, 23 for another 7 points of damage. Okay. The rust monster So they changed rust monsters a bit. Any non-magical weapon made of metal that hits a rust monster corrodes. So you don't have to worry about losing your magical shinies.
Nice. Yeah, shit. Still fuck my shirt.
Wow, okay. So the Myrmidon, so the rust monster reaches out with its antennas and touches the Myrmidon, and the Myrmidon needed to make a DC 11 Dexterity saving throw, but it got a 5, and so
Did the air just trip on air?
no. The Myrmidon loses 1 AC. And that is permanent. It's plate armor. A 1 foot cube is destroyed and corroded. So the Myrmidon basically has just a big rusty patch in the middle of its plate mail armor. Sun Moon, what would you like to do?
I cheer on the Myrmidon and ask him if he needs healing.
No, because it only took damage to its armor.
Okay. I continue to spectate.
Okay. Ari, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna my zombies in to attack.
Okay, hold on just a
It's
second.
It's just a walking through dead people. Yeah, Malcolm's not happy.
So the zombies, go ahead, and you've got 3 zombies. Go ahead and make their attack. Or do you have 4 zombies?
4 zombies.
Go ahead and make their attacks. They don't have to worry about being arrested.
18, 5.
Except for that one zombie with the hip replacement.
Titanium.
I'm sorry, what were your rolls again?
15, 18, 9, and 8.
The 15 and 18 hit.
Okie dokie. 10 total bludgeoning damage.
Okay, and the zombies go up and put down the rust monster.
Yay, zombies.
Yay.
So yeah, there are these 3 prisoners that are chained to the wall, and they're all unconscious.
Looks like it's to pull them up.
You gonna let them out? So you have 2 choices. The manacles can be picked. It is a DC 15 to pick the lock, or they can be broken. It's a DC 20 to break them with a strength check.
I will pick the locks.
Okay, go ahead and make a DC 15 dexterity check. Did you take expertise in Thieves' Tools?
Expertise and Thieves' Tools. I have both.
Okay, so expertise in Thieves' Tools means that you roll your D20, add your dexterity modifier, and double your proficiency bonus.
Well, I rolled a 17 right off the bat, so I think I got this.
So you got the first prisoner down, and he's still unconscious, but he's unlocked and on the ground.
How many of them are there?
3.
I'll use Healing Word on the one that's on the ground that we've unlocked.
Okay.
I got 2. 2. 14 on the third one. You said 15 or better?
Correct. So you're having problem unlocking the third one, but the second one is down on the ground as well. So the first one that Onomatopoeia you cast Healing Word on is he wakes up and he informs you that he was a riverboat captain that was captured by these damned cultists a few days ago and has been secured here ever since. And they haven't fed him or given him water for days.
Oh, it's time to create some food and water, isn't it?
Give him some of those medium mushrooms.
Oh, that's true too. Well, I don't have those, but if anyone would be kind enough, it would give me a spell slot.
I'll run up there and grab some of them.
Okay. Well,
I mean, if anybody wants to start a fire, we.
yeah.
Done.
Ari
I got
grabbed
it.
some, so you could create a bonfire and you could cook some mushrooms over it.
Mushrooms.
So we have a bonfire mushroom.
Yes, the bonfire to cook the mushrooms over. And
You said there was 3 prisoners.
yes, and Malum, go ahead and make your go ahead and make another dex check.
That's totally successful.
Okay.
By a lot.
So now you have 2 unconscious prisoners laying there.
I'll use healing word on them.
Okay.
I cook up the.
So you use healing word on these guys, and they are immediately paranoid and scared of you. Make a persuasion check.
How did we sound again?
So all that you can get out of these guys is that they are cultists from the Temple of Eternal Flame.
Oh, okay.
But they're basically cowering from you guys. They've been in here for a couple of weeks.
Wow. Are they gonna have some food? Are they gonna chow down?
Mushrooms are.
So
I'll
yeah,
look at him and be like,
you offer them some food, and they kind of crawl themselves over to the bonfire and are waiting with the riverboat captain for the mushrooms to roast.
I'll look at him and be like, you gents look like you're down on your luck. You ever thought about a career change?
Join the Thieves Guild.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a persuasion check, and you can make that with advantage now that you have offered them food.
15.
Yeah. So they're like, well, this whole situation with with the cult of eternal flame hasn't really worked out for us. So tell us more about your employment opportunities.
I'll tell him the lighthearted story of a entrepreneur that it's expanding a discreet import-export business.
Wow, that sounds legit. Is this guy Italian? What's going on?
You sell memberships, and then you sell memberships to the people you sold memberships to, and they sell memberships.
Is this the Church of Scientology? What's going on?
You make $15 for every membership that all of your memberships sell.
It's the Church of Pyramidology.
And the blessing of Xanadu. Yeah, these guys are interested in joining your endeavor, and want to know how they can get in on this.
I will scratch out a note in Thieves' Cant.
Okay.
And tell them to head to the Cult of the Crushing Wave Temple, which there's actually conveniently a staircase right next to us.
Yeah, right here is a staircase that goes up to the Crushing Wave Temple, which the Zentarim have taken over at your behest.
And on the paper in Thieves' Cant, I'll write a little introduction to these people and tell the Zentrum that they could be useful in some aspects, get them up to speed, send them out, earn some money.
The riverboat captain is overhearing this, and he looks up and he says, "Well, I might be interested in that as well."
Well, follow these guys, my good man.
Okay, so yeah, these three eat their mushrooms and go up the stairs. If you would like, during this whole exchange, you can count that as a short rest and use any. I don't know if you anybody's taken any damage. I don't think they have, but
I took a little.
Malin took a little. You can use that as a short rest to get back any hit points, or if you have abilities to get back spells, you can do that. So in that hour, the air elemental Myrmidon's charm wears off.
Crap.
However, Jeff, Sun Moon, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Woo, better than I expected.
Okay, so the dominate monster spell wears off, and even though the Myrmidon's a little bit irritated that it was charmed, um, you haven't really caused it any harm, and the Myrmidon says tells you, "I'm aware that you dominated me, and that effect has come to an end, and I am going to go back to my guard post, and I hope to not see you in that area again."
I hope to not to be seen in that area again. If he were a free spirit and had need, I would be interested in hearing his call.
Okay, so he goes back up to 20 and does what Myrmidons do. So in area 6 here, a waterfall gushes out of the wall of this large cave, filling a swirling pool and then coursing through a passage to the north. A winding footpath follows the rushing stream. In addition to the stream's passage, there are stone stairs leading up to the passage of dwarven stonework to the north and the cave mouths to the northwest and southwest. And so there is a passage that leads to the north, around and behind the stairwell that you have not explored yet.
We could have Zar make a sneaky, not rolling check. Good with
I
this
will.
game.
I will not sneaky. I will just peek my head around.
No boy. Okay. Hold on here.
I will follow the bullet.
This is kind of exactly what I was wanting.
And Malin is running Livy.
Give me just a moment. This is a little bit beefier than I was planning on, but this fits my needs exactly. Then I know I have more in here. What is going on here? I feel like some of my monsters have disappeared.
Have your monsters unfriended you?
Maybe.
They didn't like your posts.
Yeah. I haven't looked. Maybe my limit is full on crap that I could upload. So it does seem a little strange.
It's D&D. We can pretend one thing's another.
Right? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing here.
Man, I'm hoping some point in the future we'll have hologram tables.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, actually.
Some of the VR tabletops are pretty interesting, but they don't carry all the math and the character sheet integration for some of that stuff. But it's kind of cool to see a virtually rendered play table.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there was one that I was looking at on on Steam that looked
Virtual
really good.
tabletop's pretty good, but a lot of do-it-yourself involved in getting it.
Yeah, a few more years, the tech will be better.
Okay. Is that all of them? Yes. Okay. So, Zerm, you're sticking your head in? Is that the plan
Yes,
here?
correct.
Okay. So, you stick your head in, and there is a whole crap ton of lizard folk. They have a little camp set up in here with a large fire in the middle. Here, a big stone bench surrounded by dozens of humanoid skulls stands against the northwest wall of this dank cavern. In the middle of the room, hot coals glow in a fire pit, while crude nests of moss and mud are heaped here and there. The In this room, there are 8 regular lizard folk, and you see 2 of the lizard folk here and here are, I guess, for lack of a better term, dressed better than the other lizard folk. They're more well appointed, and the regular lizard folk, as soon as you start coming down the hall and are getting close to the area here, they all go on guard. And this one holds up a hand and motions them to not charge forward, and says something in lizard folk or draconic that equates to hold and stand guard. And
Yeah, I know Draconic.
okay, so yeah, and then in draconic, he says to you, he calls out and says, "I know you were coming up the hall. My name is Drexa. I am the king of the Blackmaw Tribe. Come forth and let's parlay.
Whoever invented.
What is your business down here?
So, Drexa tells you that, well, make a perception check first.
While he's parlaying, can I do a stealth and sneak up behind him so the others don't sense me?
Sure.
Get to there.
So your 21 on your perception is that you can tell that, in your opinion, all of the lizard folk in this chamber appear to be bellicose. And Drexa tells you that he believes that he should be the leader of the remnants of the Crushing Wave cultists, and he resents that the position wasn't given to him, and he wants to overthrow Gar Shatterkeel. And he is wanting to know if you and your party would be willing to help him in doing that.
I will
He says,
cast message.
okay.
Okay, and this is to Malum. Basically, that there is another entrance to this tunnel, to this cave, if he wants to approach from that angle, should we need it.
Right up here.
And then ask him to go back and tell the rest of the party to either split between the two or nothing's going to happen.
Is message a one-way or two-way?
You can cast a spell through, let's see here, bear message, and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. So yeah, you can reply.
Okay. I'll let him know that I can also use my frost sword to put out natural light so we can darken this area and kill them as they try to sneak out too.
That's true. You could put out the fire in the pit.
Oh,
Yeah.
but maybe we should help them. I don't know. Are they evil? Is there any way to tell?
So Drexa goes on and tells you
Well,
that he has seen failed coups before, and so he needs to side with somebody who's going to give him some measure of success in taking over the remnants of the Crushing Wave.
Well, should
Okay.
we just flat out tell him that the crushing wave doesn't exist anymore?
No. Mm-mm. I want to ask him specifically what he's going to do for us if we help.
So, before you say that, to answer Malum, the Crushing Wave did on the surface did disband with your taking over of their temple, but they're still in effect. The Crushing Wave cultists are still scattered out in the countryside, and their leader, Gar Shatterkeel, is still alive.
Yeah, we haven't received his trident called Drown yet.
Right.
That's right. Well,
Okay.
Up to the party. We can wipe them or convert them.
So what are you? So Zarm, you're asking him what he can give you. Basically.
Yes, I want to know what the long-term implications of us helping him are going to be. I'm basically not alluding that we're going to take care of it anyways. I just want to know what he's going to do for us.
He says
that I'm also buying time so that Malum can start working his way around over here.
Okay, so
I will go that way, and I will convince.
So this
moon to speak to burrow that hole bigger.
Yeah, I was going to say. So this passageway is 2 feet wide. You could turn sideways and hopefully get through it. Although those wearing bigger armor may have some difficulty. But if Speak wanted to deal with it, he could.
Yep.
However, it's not going to be quiet.
And also do it quietly.
Yeah, speak is not going to be the most silent. I mean, you're basically using a living bulldozer to
Yeah.
to
No, when I
dig
get the
through.
call, I'm gonna pull a Hawaiian Punch Kool-Aid bust through there all in one turn.
Yeah, I
Then
mean,
people can follow.
yeah, you're talking about 25 feet to get into the room, so speak can definitely do that.
I will go with speak, but I'll signal the wyvern to go down the tunnel and hold position
Okay.
as back.
So Drexa tells you that the Black Maw has amassed a small amount of treasure due to their participation in various raids up on the surface. This treasure is, of course, his own, being the king. He has 2 wooden chests, and he would be willing to give one of those chests to you.
I want to know contents before we do anything, but I'm also more interested in the long-term effects of you becoming a cult leader, not so much what I'm going to earn right now.
Okay. So hold on here. Let me figure this.
What's your goals?
He just wants to become the prophet instead of Cheddar Q.
Maybe.
Which is fine if he's going to be top dog on something, and we got him there. He's going to pay us homage. Otherwise, we're going to come take him out.
Yeah, I'm not fond of world domination. That's my plan.
I'm the Cobra Commander.
You're Destro. You know your spot.
We figure if we go along with Drexa and Drexa and Shatterkeel wound each other, we can maybe take them both out while they're at less than their best.
So in if he gives you one of the chests, there's 1,150 copper pieces, 625 silver pieces, and 145 gold pieces. Also, with your perception check, Drexa is wearing a gold necklace around his neck. He's got a big, heavy gold rope that he's wearing around his neck that you estimate is worth about 200 gold pieces in and of itself. So you're asking what his long-term goal is for the crushing wave? Basically? Yeah. He ponders that because he doesn't really have an answer to it. He just feels like he should be in charge. He's a lizard folk. So the idea of having a long-term goal beyond the protection of his tribe is almost foreign to him.
I've watched Ancient Aliens. Don't trust the lizard folk.
The ant people, on the other hand, they're fine.
Exactly.
This guy's not very smart, so it would be pretty.
Well, it's not really that he's not very smart. It's more that he is fairly primitive. So he has a +0 to his intelligence is 11. So he's
I'm
not.
gonna say he basic, yo.
Yeah, he's not dumb. But lizard folk are fairly primitive. I mean, when you're looking at these guys, they're carrying, shields that are basically made out of large tortoise shells, and they're armed with wooden clubs.
So idiocracy?
Yeah, basically, this guy is President Camacho.
I like President Camacho. Let's help.
He would President Camacho, I believe, should be elected for 2020. Can't
He
do
wouldn't hire the
worse.
smartest person he could find.
Right, he would at least
Supposed
listen
to
to
do.
the smartest person in the room, so that would be doing better than what we have right now. Yeah, he other than securing safety and long-term security for the Blackmaw Tribe by being leader of the crushing wave, he has no other real goals set in mind. He vaguely is aware that if he were to be the crushing wave prophet, that there would be some form of power involved in that, but the gist that you're getting from him is that he is not even aware of what that power would be.
Okay. My eyes start to turn a bright color red, and my
Okay.
cloak starts to billow. And I say, "You
no.
will give us your chests. You will give us the gold around you, and we will make you the lords of the crushing wave," or whatever the hell it is he wants. And then you will bow beneath us when we ask for you.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. $14. Yeah. So you say this, and your eyes are glowing, and all of these lizard folk, his tribe, they all kind of gasp and kind of step away. And he says that he agrees to that. That if he is made the leader of the crushing wave, then he will give you an army the likes of which the world has never seen. You doubt that vaguely, but that's what his promise is. And he agrees to give you both of the chests. So it is a total of what 2,300 copper pieces, 1,250 silver pieces, 290 gold pieces, and his gold rope. Worth 200 gold pieces. Yo. Yeah, he agrees to that. He thinks that clearly now he is under the impression that, well, first of all, he is making the assumption that Zarm is leader of the party, and he says as much by saying, "You're clearly the most powerful. I can't imagine anybody being more powerful than you," and they were wise to choose you as their leader. Strength should always lead, and he says, "How soon can we make this happen?"
I tell him that you will be called and you must be ready. And in order to do that, you must be rested. And with that, I would like to cast two things.
Okay.
The first is going to be darkness.
Okay. So, are you casting darkness to darken the entire room?
Yeah, the whole room.
Okay.
And then I cast thermatology or whatever it is here. And I just say, sleep.
Okay, so the room is now cloaked in magical darkness, and you hear like a collective gasp, and you can hear rustling of like the moss and dirt nests that they have all made, like they're all climbing into bed.
Okay, we get their money. Let's go.
Here he comes dragging out two chests. All right, I handled it.
Okay, let's go.
Deal.
So, at this point, you guys all kind of gather back around at the base of the stairs up to the Crushing Wave Temple. And you realize that you have cleared out the Fane of the Eye. And all that is left is to ride the elevator down to the individual nodes down below.
Okay.
So the question then is, at this point, do you want to go back up the stairs and take care of things on the surface before going down to the dungeon?
I think
Nope,
so.
I'm good. I still have all my spells. Let's fight.
I'm
on
good
down.
to go.
I'll go.
You're all ready to go. Okay.
Sure.
Give me just a moment. Um,
We'll need to call these guys when we go into the water node. Is that right? Like,
you can.
okay.
Let me.
Awesome.
I'm going to
I don't think they'll survive.
put us on break for just a moment. Give me just a second, guys.
Created monsters. Now everyone will be doing text macros. What do you do on your turn? Wait, let me type a text macro for that.
Just setting up a map here. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. And your screen should have gone black.
You-
It wasn't me. I did not cast darkness.
Hmm. What was? How did we center the map? Do you remember, Jeff?
Do you shift and click and it centers for all of us? Something like that?
Yeah. Let's see. No.
Hold shift, left click, and hold down. Center all views on the location so marked.
Oh, I know why it's that way. There we go.
Yep.
So you ride the elevator down. And you do have your wyvern and speak. I just have not grabbed them yet. I would assume that the wyvern is probably flying overhead. Okay. And we give this to Malum.
I will have Malum flying on the wyvern. Yep.
Okay. All right. So you ride the elevator down. The natural walls of the shaft widen near the. Oh, hold on. Probably good if I go back. There we go. We are back. The natural walls of the shaft widen near the base. Heat and light radiate from a bubbling lake of lava that covers most of the floor. Lava flows through an exit to the northeast. Stone passages open to the northwest, west, and south. And so this elevator platform comes down, and there are skipping stones that you can hop across to get over to here. Make a So if you're wanting to go over to here, make a either athletics or dexterity check. Your choice. Malum, you can fly, so you don't have to worry about it.
I will fly
Jeff,
to-
you can make the check for using the bullets scores.
I don't trust
Or
that.
Misty Step, that works.
I don't trust
Or
that.
Misty Step, that works.
You
I
should have
will
used
take
my
boots on base,
wingwear.
so I'm going to be.
How far is it?
It is about 45 feet
For what?
from the platform across the skipping stones.
What they're using.
You said acrobatics or dexterity?
Acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Athletic.
And apparently on Wyvern, I'm taking the skeletons with me.
Mhm.
They're zombies,
Okay.
which
I-
I'm
The
not
Wyvern
happy
could just
about.
pick him up in his claws and just take him with him.
Yeah. Zombie
You
bombs.
got a
Yes.
7.
Why aren't the mounts just like taking trips back and forth so I don't have to?
You technically could do that if you wanted to. You could have the mounts make the trips back and forth. Everybody
I
make
help my clumsy ass out a lot.
You want me to just come pick you up at the platform and bring you to be with me?
Sure, that'd be better.
I'd appreciate a ride because my athletic skill is garbage. So.
everybody make a perception check.
Ew. Mhm.
Hey,
Nice.
at 20.
Okay.
Everybody knows what's going on. There's 2 net 20s.
Okay.
Right in here. We
So,
I
better
got a
notice
12 going to
something.
B. I
and
didn't
Malum,
see
what did
shit.
you get?
I got a 12 going to B.
Okay.
15 also.
And Ari got a 15.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm down with Malum. And
Okay.
I didn't see shit.
Wearing sunglasses like it's a white lava filled room.
Giganto.
Oh no, what is that?
Bad guys. This guy. So you guys going across that landed over here, notice that there is a flame wraith or flame wrath that was watching you and is trying to plan an ambush. It has failed miserably at doing that. Probably because he did not expect you guys to be coming down the elevator. And then the other guy.
Oh shit. It's a little bit.
Don't worry, he shrank it down. It's okay.
I was like, damn, that's big. It's a big.
And last but not least,
Pittifies. What you doing, girl? You good kidder. Meow. What you doing?
Okay, so you guys, you're not surprised, which is what their plan initially was, but they failed. And so the Razor Blast is at 11. The Eternal Flame Priest is at 21. Go ahead and roll initiative. And this will be our final combat of the game today.
19 for Aerie.
Okay.
1, 6 total.
Wow, really? That's
Yeah, I've
shocking.
been rolling close to 20s all night, so I was due.
Zarm got a 7. Onomatopoeia, you got a 28?
Oh no, I got an 8.
Oh,
18.
18. Okay. I was like, whoa, what?
It was my perception.
Well,
check.
still, 18 is like amazingly good too.
For me, yeah. Let's see. Rolling garbage.
Okay. So. Oh. I don't know why I did that. It should be speak. There. That's better. And actually, speak doesn't need to. There we go. Okay, so the Eternal Flame Priest, you, Malum and Aerie and Zarm, you land over here, and the Eternal Flame Priest, who is not surprising you because Aerie sees him, he...
I don't see any of us in the torn order anymore.
Oh, yeah. God damn it. Okay, so... What time is it? 3:51. I don't have enough time to run this battle yet.
Okay.
So this is going to have to save and wait until next week. I've got another group that I'm running here fairly shortly. So yeah, the reason why you couldn't see the turn orders, there is a bug that we've been battling since this whole situation started in Roll20, that when you switch maps, it does not maintain the turn order. I can see it. You can't. Yeah, it's weird. So we will pick this up next week. And like I said, Sun Moon, Zarm, and Dubisa, you guys are welcome to remote in, and we'll use my tablet, and we'll go forward from there.
We're gonna be screwed without you guys, so please.
Yeah.
You were fine before us. You'll be fine after, but we're
I
still
don't know.
interested.
And I almost died like quite a bit. So.
Most of my games, I've died several times usually.
Yeah. Yeah, usually in my games, death is not that... in my D&D games, death is not that unknown of a thing.
Yeah.
There was somebody who posted on Twitter the other day, and they're like, "Oh, have you ever had somebody die or had a character die in a game?" And there was like all these people like, "No, we have to, we insist on signing waivers and whatnot because we need to have consent for character death." And I'm like, that is the most ridiculous bullshit I've ever heard in my life. That is the most ridiculous thing. I'm sorry, you're playing D&D. Your character can die. Sorry, that's just how that works.
Where's that option in Zelda?
I know, right?
Consent to Link dying.
Right, yeah. No, I don't consent.
I don't
Yeah.
want to die in real life. Can I sign a thing, please?
Yeah, I don't consent to death, so what the
I had
hell?
a character that spent most of their time in a bag of holding because she kept dying.
Well, Jeff had a character that I think it was like our third game. They get a deck of many things and ended up drawing a card that trapped him in a crystal
Yeah.
that sat in a dragon's hoard.
Soul Trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Like-
happened?
3 months of game time.
Yeah, had to make a second character just so that he could find his first character.
Yep.
I
So,
will avenge you, Grandpa.
yes. All right, I will see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.
We'll no matter where we're at, we're going to go ahead and try to stream. We'll see how that works out.
Thanks,
Cool.
Chris.
Yep, have a good week, guys.
Yeah.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.